Hi students, I hope you all are enjoying the online sessions and you have seen my last week videos. My last week videos about your communication skills. In this communication skill, I have told you about the 5 chapters. The first chapter was method of communication. In method of communications, we have read about the 3 methods, that was the verbal, non-verbal and the visual communication. Your next chapter was the communication cycle. I told you what is the process of communication cycle and why it is called the communication cycle. In next, I told you about the communication barriers. In communications barriers, there are the 2 types of the barrier. One was the internal and one was the external barriers. And how you can overcome these type of the barriers. In the 4th chapter, I told you about the effective communications, how you can make your communication more effective. For this, I told you the 7 C's of the communications. What were the 7 C's of the communication? Concise, concrete, coherent, like this. I told you 7 C's of these communications for making your communication more effective. And at the last, in the 5th chapter, I told you about the basic writing skills. What was the basic writing skills? In this, we have read about the grammar topics. What are the sentences and what are the nouns, pronouns? These was the topics in this chapter, and I didn't teach you that topic because that you have already done in your grammar part. The main portion of this chapter was how you can make your paragraph, how you can write your paragraph. So I told you some points for making a paragraph more effective. This was all about our last week videos about communication skills. Now we will do the unit 2 of the part A, that was the self-management skill. In this self-management skill, I will teach you 2 topics, that is the stress management and ability to work independently. Firstly, what was the self-management skills? There are so many lot of situations in your lives comes along your path. So how you can tackle these situations with your inbuilt ability that are in you, and how you can lower the stress level in your life. So in today's lecture, I will told you about the self-management skills, and under that I will teach you about stress management. So let's come with me for this self-management skills. Now we are starting our chapter unit 2, that is the self-management skills. Now, what is self-management? This is a method of applying and using your characteristics in a correct and the responsible way. That what you are having some abilities in you and how you are using your ability to solve a problem, to solve a particular problem in a correct and the responsible way. Second definition is it is making commitment to yourself to smartly organize and handle the things in and around. That how smart you are to handle the things that is happening in all around. How smartly you are to take the decisions. How smartly you are to solve the problem. How you can effectively use the time management according to you. How you can planning a particular schedule. How you can handling these stressful situations. When you are managing all these things with the abilities that are in you, that is known as the self-management skills. Self-management that plays an important role in our day-to-day life, in our academic professions, in our house, in our relationship with our friends. That is most important when you are doing some task at home and in your workplace also. That's really help you in all situations. That helps you to how when you are stressful, then how you can recover from this stress. So this is the self management. By using this self management techniques, you can live a stressful life, and plus you can make you happier. In general, this is an inbuilt mechanism within us that safeguards us from any external danger. Self-management stabilize our emotions and help us to live a productive life. Whenever we are not having the self-management skills, then we are suffering from this stress, And what is the stress? That is a physical stress and the mental stress that really threatens us, and it's really puts up in a more danger. That is really, we can't imagine that stressful life is a very heavy life, and it is very difficult us to live with the stress. Stress is defined as an external stimuli that triggers changes in one's personality. uh, Stress, every person goes through a stressful phase. We always goes through a stressful phase, but but we need to manage our stress in our daily life to live a healthy life. And stress has both impact on us. It can be positive and it can be negative, but it depends upon the person who received it and who perceives it is, that depends on that person. For example, I am giving you an example. Suppose we have got the result of our annual exams and we have marks up to 50%. So, two friends have got a marks up to 50%. One has gone into stress. Oh, so much less marks I got, and what will be what my father will say? What will I say at home? And other said, don't worry, I will do more hard work to get the more marks next time. I will surely get the more marks. So the stress is positive and the stress is negative. Both are having the stress for getting the lower marks in the exams, but the level of perceiving it is different from person to person. One is taking it as a taking it one is taking it as a boost for boosting it up, and second is taking it very in a negative way. So this depends upon the person to person. Some people take the stress in a negative way, and that can harm to our health in a many aspects. For examples, we can have a memory loss, lack of sleep, improper diet. That these factors can cause harm to our health. And some people with the excessive stress that begin to take the drugs and gets aggressive and is depressed or starts quarreling with each other. As a result, their social life and their social life is really ruined, and their life becomes full of dullness, nervousness, rudeness. So taking the stress, it's really very harmful to us. So we should take care of it, and we should have our stress management techniques. We should use the stress management techniques that are inbuilt in us. Whenever we are using these stress management skills, then we can come out of this stress and we can make our life more happier and more healthy. So we should not take our stress. That will be really harmful for us. Stress does not always have a negative impact on us. Sometimes it can be useful us, and it also help us to accomplish the great things. For example, when some challenges we are having to face and that caused stress, but they help us to push our limits. This positive stress is known as eustress. Eustress provides us with energy and motivations to achieve our goals. Now I am going to tell you next that how we can live a stressful life. There are many methods. By using this, you can manage the stress. First is the physical exercise. That is the first steps to live a stressful life. Exercise that strengthen our body and our senses of the well-being. And second, it accelerates the production of our brains and it feel us good. Next, it helps us to release the endomorphins, chemicals in the brain that acts as a painkiller and eradicate insomnia. Exercise makes a person sturdy and help him to tackle the stressful situation. It also helps to build up a confidence and the self-esteem in us. So you can see that there are so much benefits of the physical exercise, and in our daily life we should have a time, we should find out a time we should for doing the exercise, at least for at least for 30 to 40 minutes. With these outdoor games like running, biking, and any other these exercise also, that's also increase our happiness and the confidence, and it's relax us and lower the risk of the depression and the anxiety. It also improves our sleep, which I earlier told you that it release a chemical endomorphin, which act as a painkiller. Now the next step is that to release a stressful life is the yoga. We can also use a yoga has the most important place in the Indian culture. It is practiced for the self development, enlightenment of the soul, and the spiritual growth also. What is the main purpose of the yoga? It emphasizes on the proper breathing and the mind. Yoga poses like Sukhasana, Savasana also. These also help us to release to, to release the stress from our mind. It helps to bring together physical health and the mental disciplines. It really creates an equilibrium between our mental and the physical health. Its main focus is on the importance of being present in the moment and finding sense of peace. The main motivation of the yoga is finding the sense of peace. With yoga, we can learn that how to reduce the impact of the stressful situations and set ourselves up for a much happier and a healthier life. With yoga, we can it help us that how can reduce it help us to find out that how we can reduce the stress and how we can live a happier and a healthier life. And the practicing yoga builds our ability to be calm, focused, balanced, and the relaxed. It helps us to bring the sense of happiness, and it also enables us to focus on the present. And the third, the most popular method to relieve the stress, that is the meditations. What is meditation? It is the technique to get encountered when we carried away by the emotional stress. It is a very useful techniques that help us to relax our mind. Whenever we are doing a yoga, we are just sitting in a relaxed positions and we are concentrated our mind on one point for 5 to 20 minutes, and there should be no any distraction, no any voice. There should be that whenever you are doing the meditation, you have to sit in a calm place. And meditation techniques, it stops our mind to deviate from our thoughts that comes in between the process. It really stops the mind to take the various thoughts that are coming in our mind. The next method to relieve the stress, that is the enjoyment. We are having the stressful life, but we should have some time. We should take out some time for some refreshment also. We should spend the time with our loved beings to whom we love, the whose company we enjoy. We should play the games, watching the movies, doing some art and craft, doing some singing, dancing, whatever you like, and what are your hobbies in your life. We should spend our time on our hobbies so that it will gives us a enjoyment and we shall feel relief. And the next things, that is the vacations. That is vacations vacations is very important for everyone. Everyone wants a vacations in our daily life. We should schedule some vacations to some destinations that will relieve our stress, and we will go very far away from our stressful life, and it will relieve our mind so much, and we will feel healthy and very strong in our life. Vacations tend us to forget our workload, and we really spend the quality time with our friends and the relatives who are together, and that vacations lead us to happier and the stress free time. This really help us to live with our loved beings, and we really enjoy their companies, and we really feel very creative, self inspiration, socializing, relaxing, rejuvenating. It really creates the memorable moments. The next important thing to relieve a stressful life is the nature walk. When you are living in the nature's labs, that is just like in a heaven. Taking walk at parks, gardens that are full of trees that increase the oxygen in our body, and it's increase our blood circulation level. It also recharge ourselves and release our stress also. Breathing fresh air and taking sun rays, especially during dusk, decreases stress and evolve us with the more positivity. When we are taking the nature walks, it calms our troubled mind. Hi students, have you enjoyed this session? In today's session, today's session is very helpful for you in your daily life, because in this I taught you about the stress management, and there is so much stress of your study in your life and how you can manage this stress. I have told you many techniques. By following these techniques, you can overcome the stress in your life. These techniques were physical exercise, yoga, meditation, vacation and enjoyment, and taking nature walk. By using these techniques, you can overcome the stress in your life. So please watch it carefully, and after this, I am giving you one questions which you have to write down in your notebook. I have given you 8 questions related to the unit 1. Now there is the 9th question related to the unit 2, that is the self management skills. So I am writing these questions on this board, and please write down in your notebook. Now you have to write down these 2 questions in your notebook. First question is, what is stress management, and explain the importance of the stress management. And the second question is, what are the different techniques to reduce the stress in life. Now you have to write down these 2 questions related to the self management skill. I am also sending the PDF of this chapter. By using this PDF, you can write down the answers in notebook. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.